In this lesson, we're going to talk about unit conversion. And in Math 65 and in section 8.2, we're going to learn a very specific way to convert units. And this is a method that is used in science classes. And so Math 65 is meant to prepare you for those science classes. So it is important that you use unit analysis the way I'm going to show it, because there are multiple ways to do this. We are specifically going to be doing unit analysis for this course. So to start with, a rate is just a comparison of two quantities that can be written as a fraction. So unit rate, when we say unit rate, we make the denominator 1. So what we're doing is comparing one unit of a quantity to another one. So for example, your car travels 300 miles for each 13-gallon fill-up of gas you purchase. Write as a unit rate. So what we really want to do is, instead of looking at it as 300 miles for 13 gallons, is how many miles for 1 gallon. Not really in for that one. So that makes it a unit rate because we're comparing it to 1 gallon. And that's what we call MPGs, or miles per gallon. So in order to get this unit rate, all we do is this division though. So it's going to be 300 miles divided by 13 gallons. We're definitely going to be using calculators in this section. 300 divided by 13 is close to 23, and it did say round to the nearest whole number, so we can say that this is approximately 23 miles per gallon, which you can write as MI per GAL, or MPG is a common abbreviation for miles per gallon. So that's all we mean by unit rate. Conversion factors are just unit rates. So here are a few conversion factors. Hopefully you know some of these. Like for example, 1 foot is 12 inches. But notice all of these are unit rates because we look at one unit and compare it to the other. So 1 foot, and how many inches is that? Or 1 cup, how many fluid ounces is that? Turns out our textbook, which is our ebook that hopefully we've been looking at, contains a unit conversion reference sheet in Appendix B, which just means it's at the end of the book. You will have access to these tables on homework and quizzes and the final exam, unit exams. Like, you do not have to memorize all these, although I hope you know that there's 12 inches in a foot, but you get this table. So this is the exact table you get. And it contains length first, and it has a picture of a ruler for lengths. And then the next section is about area, which are in square feet, square miles, but acres are another way to measure area. Volume next, and they have a 3-dimensional shape. And then on the other side of this, and this PDF is in D2L as well, we have weight and time, and then computer storage, right? And so again, a lot of these we probably know, like an hour is 60 minutes, but they're all here in unit rate version, meaning 1 unit equals how many of the other for all these variety of ways of measurement. All right, well, let's go back to the problems we have. So I just put a few of these here for quick reference, but they're all on that larger PDF. So for example, convert 3 yards to feet. So this is certainly something that we could probably just do. Maybe we just know, oh, we'll just multiply by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. But I want to introduce this unit conversion way of doing things. So in this, we're going to use fraction multiplication. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply across the top and across the bottom, but we would always cross cancel first. So with these, we're going to cross cancel our units. Not just the numbers, but the units as well. So let's look at this example. It says 3 yards. So what we're going to do is, since we're converting 3 yards to feet, is start with 3 yards and just put it over 1 just to make it be a fraction. So I'm not really changing it, I'm just putting it over 1. And then we want something to get yards to cancel. And we use these unit rates. In this case, 3 feet is 1 yard. So that makes the yards cancel, and then 3 times 3 makes 9 feet. So it seems pretty complicated for a problem that's easy like this one, but we need this kind of structure when we're dealing with more complicated problems. So let's try another one. Convert 2 quarts to cups by filling in these blanks. So we start with just 2 quarts over 1. And then specifically we want to put quarts on the bottom because then those units cancel. So I'm going to look up here, or we could use this table has things about quarts as well under volume. It says that 1 quart is 2 pints. So I put the 1 with the quarts and 2 must go with pints. But then I don't want to be left with pints, so I need the pints to cancel as well. So we just need to fill in the numbers to make pints cancel. And it turns out 1 pint is 2 cups. So that puts 2 with the cups and 1 with the pints. So now pints cancel and we're left with cups for our answer, which is exactly what they asked us to do, is to convert quarts to cups. To find the number, any number that's on the top of this fraction, we're just going to multiply by. If we had a number that wasn't 1 on the bottom, we would need to divide by that number. But here it's just 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 cups. So 8 cups is the same as 2 quarts. Let's keep getting a little more difficult here. Convert 5 days into minutes. So I'm going to start by just putting 5 days over 1 so that it looks like a fraction, because we're using fraction multiplication for these. And I want days to cancel. And so then we just think about, well, what do I know about days? And one thing I know is that there are 24 hours in 1 day. So that is enough to get those days to cancel. But hours is what I have now, and they wanted minutes. So we're not done yet. So now I need a fraction that's going to get hours to cancel to be left with minutes. The conversion factor for hours or minutes is that 60 minutes is 1 hour. So we structure the units first and then fill in the numbers second. If the numbers are on the top of the fraction, we multiply that by them. Any number that's not 1, if it's in the bottom, we need to divide by it. Dividing by 1 isn't going to change it, so I don't have to worry about any of those. So now in the calculator, I just need to put 5 times 24 times 60. And that will be the number of minutes, because that's the units that are left. So in the calculator, 5 times 24 times 60, not negative, is 7,200, and that's in minutes. But that's how many minutes are in 5 days. All right, hopefully this is starting to make a little sense in the structure, right? I know that we probably have figured out problems like this before, but it's this structure of using fraction multiplication that we really want to focus on. So let's do one with yards and feet again. So I have 33 yards, and I put it over 1 to make it be a fraction. I want yards to cancel and to be left with feet. Okay, so the only way to get something to cancel is 1 has to be on the top and 1 has to be on the bottom, because we're cross-canceling. The conversion factor is that 3 feet are in 1 yard. And then that's it. That's feet. So 33 times 3 is 99 feet. Again, that just came from 33 times 3, and dividing by 1 doesn't change those. That was deceptively easy. Let's do one that's actually harder. 128 fluid ounces. So the way to abbreviate fluid ounces was with an FL and then OZ for ounces. Fluid ounces measures volume. So if I'm gonna pull up this table here, get them both on screen. So these are all volume measurements. Ounces is a measurement of weight, but fluid ounces is a measurement of volume. And I want to convert fluid ounces into gallons. All right, so I'm going to put it over 1 because we want to line up the top and the bottom of this fraction. And then I specifically need fluid ounces in the bottom so that these cancel. So then we look at our table and we say, okay, well, what do we know about fluid ounces? I see there's 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So 1 cup goes in the top and 8 fluid ounces goes in the bottom. This one's different because now the number is going on the bottom. So when at the end, we're going to have to divide by it instead of multiply, but that's not a big deal. Same thing really, especially when we're using a calculator. But they didn't ask for cups, they asked for gallons. So I got to keep going until I get gallons. So now I need cups to cancel. And we look at our table and what do we know about cups? Looks like I know that a pint is 2 cups. So 1 pint is 2 cups. So now the cups are gone. Great. Keep going because I need to get to gallons. So now I need pints to cancel. Pints gone. And we look in the table. What I know is, well, we already used that 1 pint is 2 cups. That doesn't help me to use again. But 2 pints are 1 quart. Let's use that one. 2 pints, 1 quart. Whew, hopefully we're almost done. So now's a good time to point out when do we know we're done. The way we know we're done is when we end up with the unit that they asked us for. They wanted us to convert to gallons. And the table says that 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So we know we're done with our structure, with this fraction multiplication, but now we actually have to type in the calculator. So multiplying by 1 on the top, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, that's all just going to be multiplying by 1. Doesn't change anything. All these numbers in the bottom, though, we need to divide by. So in the calculator, what I'm going to type is 128 divided by 8, divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 4. So let's do it. 128 divided by 8, divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 4 equals. Wait a minute, is that some kind of mistake? I just got 1. Nope, 1 is the answer. It turns out that 128 fluid ounces is exactly 1 gallon.